Hello, here I am in St. Petersburg, Russia. Did you listen to the American government when they told you not to come to Russia, that it was bad and scary, and if you come here something bad might happen? Well, if so, you made a terrible mistake, because this city is beautiful and fun. To my right, we have the Peter and Paul Fortress. This was the first structure built in this region after it was conquered from the Swedes. Although this fortress was built to defend the area from foreigners, especially the Swedes, it was never actually used as a fortress because the area was already secure by the time it was built. So this was used as a government capital, it was used as a prison, and now it's a museum. And to the right, we can see many people sunbathing. In St. Petersburg, because we're in the far north area of Russia, and the winters are very long and cold, people really appreciate the summer and the sunshine. So there's many places in St. Petersburg where you will find people sunbathing. At this gate, we can see the symbol of the Russian Empire, the double-headed eagle. This symbol is actually two symbols combined in one. In the center, we have the symbol of St. George slaying the dragon, which represented ancient Russia. And then the double-headed eagle comes from Byzantium, and that represents the Russian Empire. I've noticed when walking around St. Petersburg that this symbol, the double-headed eagle, is present on all the government buildings. We just heard the midday cannons fire at the fortress. It's an old tradition that goes back to the Tsarist times when the cannons were used to notify all the workers that it was midday and it's time to take a lunch break. Huge crowds of people come here every day to hear the midday cannon shots and the bells from the St. Peter and Paul Cathedral. There are many entrances to the Peter and Paul Fortress, and this entrance gives access to the fortress from the Neva River. In the distance, the green and white building is the Winter Palace. Currently, that is the home of the Hermitage Museum, where you can see masterpieces by Leonardo, Raphael, Rembrandt, and other great Renaissance masters. In most of the parks in St. Petersburg during the summer, you'll see artists making paintings and drawings. Here we have a young artist who's painting a beautiful painting of one of the gates of the Peter and Paul Fortress. In St. Petersburg, they have real art, not that fake art that they have in America where they just randomly splatter paint and poop on a canvas and then brag about what geniuses they are and trick people into paying millions of dollars for nothing. No, in St. Petersburg, they have real artists who make real art. And this kid's 13 years old. Here's a sculpture of Peter the Great made by the Russian artist Michael Shamakin. The proportions of this sculpture are somewhat unusual, but people say that they're accurate. He was very tall, he was 2 meters, 4 centimeters, and his head was considered small for his body, and his fingers were very long. The head of the sculpture is very realistic because it was made using the death mask of Peter the Great. This cathedral is constructed in a shape that resembles a ship. The reason for this is that Peter the Great loved ships, and he's responsible for building the modern Russian Navy, capturing ports that gave access to the Baltic Sea and to the Black Sea. And Peter the Great also personally built ships when he was traveling Europe when he was younger. The St. Peter and Paul Cathedral is also the burial place of almost every Russian Tsar from Peter the Great onwards. Behind me is the St. Petersburg Mint. In modern times, it doesn't produce coins for circulation anymore, but it still produces gold and silver collectible coins and medals. Right now, they're setting up a stage and seating for an opera concert. In St. Petersburg, free concerts are very common at the various parks and public squares in the city. The weather in St. Petersburg is very variable. A few hours ago when we started filming this, it was hot and sunny. Now, As we've come to the sad part of the tour, the sky has decided to rain. Behind me is the prison, and for most of the history of this fortress, it was used as a prison for political prisoners such as the son of Peter the Great, who was the first prisoner, and famous writers such as Dostoevsky and other revolutionaries. After the Communist Revolution, it was decommissioned as a prison, and I'm not sure what happened to it after that, but now it's a museum. It's been a pleasure for us to show you all the interesting places in this beautiful city. But this isn't our last journey, so be ready for more adventures and magnificent sights. Thank you for watching, and see you later.